Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. I shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today. A bit of a late night episode, not as per usual. It's not like this is the usual, but it's just a late night one, I suppose, compared to normal. How's the Fawnhallow art coming along? I didn't actually finish it last night, if you couldn't tell. I think the only thing left is I haven't shaded D from what I recall, so it should probably be finished today. So hopefully tomorrow the new series will be uploaded. If it's not, then then on Saturday, and if not, then who knows when. Good evening, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 10:36 p.m. on Thursday, June 22nd, 2023. I think at least, right? Did I upload the right video today, right? Off the top of anything neat. What on earth is this? Is that if someone washes up on shore? I swear that was different dialogue from what I'm usually seeing. My backlog of videos is like gone again because I've not recorded really like anything this week because the recording time went into doing a thumbnail art. Sort of. It was sort of like procrastinating a thumbnail art. I'm going to be honest a little bit, but that's all right. At some point I'll just, recording's a lot easier than like mustering up the energy to do a thumbnail art, to be perfectly honest. But I suppose since I'm so near the end, it should not be too bad. Fingers crossed. But again, it's a problem. But I left it so late that a big problem is I'm gonna get like color correction because I've got flax on. Well, not color correction. I'm gonna probably end up using the incorrect colors because I got flax on, so it's gonna like mess things up. And you might be like, oh, turn off flux, so then f.lux or whatever. So you can see the colours as they truly are, but when it's oh, okay, but it's kind of late at night, I don't want to be like staring at blue light before I go to sleep. That's like the worst thing you can potentially do, I suppose. But sacrifices must be made, and by sacrifices in this case will be I'm gonna be okay with using slightly the wrong colour, to be perfectly honest. And I think you'll be okay as well, probably. We'll survive. We'll get through this together. I'm a bit thirsty. Let me have some water. As I'm slowly running out of drink in my bowl. What we can talk about today. I guess we could talk about F-Lux. I don't know if we've ever talked about that. Like screen... What are they called? Screen... Colour adjustment? Blue light? I guess we could talk about blue light. Because I don't actually know, genuinely, if it's like a myth or it's an actual thing. I think it's a scientific thing, but it's something like seeing blue light before you go to sleep, or like blue light wakes you up because of like some human reaction inside your brain, whereas you associate it with a colour of sky, so you think it's daytime, which is why these F-Lux things even exist, which like basically take the blue light outside what take the blue light out of the display, so everything looks far more red, but then you don't have a blue association, I suppose, with the sky. Genuinely, I don't actually know if that's true. I've just kind of assumed it's true this entire time. I've never actually like verified it. Oh, a twinkling painting, interesting. So you gave us Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh. And I've used it every single time because even, I've talked about placebo before. Go see episode 1004, and what episode are we even on? We're not on 1400. Go see episode 1023 where we talked about the placebo effect. Even if it's a placebo effect, the fact I still sort of like believe it, it's still going to make it work, right? It helps me get to sleep. Or, if anything, it's kind of like a nocebo effect, because if I stop using it, then I'll probably be like, oh, I'm associating it, I'm seeing blue light, my brain's going to be like too awake, my brain's going to think it's daytime, I'm not going to be able to sleep as well. Something like that. You may say that maybe the thing which is stopping you from sleeping is going to sleep like late, or like inconsistently, rather than necessarily the blue light, and that may be true. True, that may be true, who knows? Who can say? No one knows. It's an absolute mystery. But yeah, maybe I should look it up. What sort of like F-Lux? Like, what's the software called? Color temperature. Cross-platform computer program adjusted colors displays color temperature to reduce eye strain. Help reduce the disruption of sleeping patterns. Is it actually efficacy? Reducing exposure to bright 1000 lux blue light at nighttime was linked to increased melatonin secretion in a 1996 study, but a 2018 study showed that changing the spectral composition of self-luminous displays without changing the brightness settings may be insufficient for preventing impacts of melatonin suppression. So basically this is saying reducing your exposure to bright blue lights increased your melatonin secretion, which is I think the thing, the hormone which helps you sleep. And then in 2018 was just like, it alone is not enough, you also need to turn down the brightness of your things. Okay, I guess that makes sense. FLX proponents hypothesize that altering the color temperature of a display to reduce the prominence of white blue light at night would improve the effectiveness of sleep. Although the developer provides a list of relevant research on the website, program itself has not been scientifically tested. And the equivalent program, Apple program Night Shift, was to have no effect on sleep outcomes. Oh! Although it's still been widely and positively reviewed, despite the fact it's not been scientifically tested, and an equivalent program has been shown to not do anything. Okay, well, I mean, on one hand, that's sort of just like, it's kind of what I expected. Oh! I'm sorry, did I scare away your bug? Sorry, Raymond. On one hand, it's kind of what I expected. Like, something in the back of my mind was like, you know, I've never actually verified this, so who knows genuinely how true it is. But on the other hand, it's sort of just like I think it does at least help reduce eye strain, even if it doesn't necessarily help me sleep better. Blue light feels harsher, you know, than red light. At least red light kind of feels quite mellow. I'm looking at like this Wikipedia background. It's already like, it's a whitish red, like a reddish white. Sorry, not whitish red. And that seems significantly better on the eyes, or easier on the eyes, than the bluish white, which is, you know, it looks crisp, it looks clean, bluish white, but it's also, you know, a bit harsh on the eyes, in my opinion. Redshift software. Light on dark color scheme. So I guess it doesn't work. Color temperature. Like, I don't... What is this even... So maybe I should just uninstall it or something. I don't know. I kind of just got like gotten used to it now. If anything, I've sort of like Pavlovian response myself into being like, yes, it's nighttime mode now. It's like, you know, the screens and all the whites on my screen are like slowly shifting slightly red. Now I know it's nighttime mode. Now I'm like chilling out and vibing. I'm like, I've got to get ready for bed somewhat soon, and then I stay up for another 6 hours or something like that. I don't know. And this is why I click on it and it turns out I don't even have it enabled. No, I do have it enabled. So yeah, no, I guess the answer is, who really knows if it actually works or not? And the answer is probably it doesn't work in the slightest. It's just sort of like, it just sort of exists in like, well yeah, it just exists full stop, and it's like, is that pointless? Maybe, but I don't know, I still use it. I have it on my phone as well. It was like, actually what I used to do is I used to have a different program on my phone. It was called like Sunrise or something, I can't remember, but then it like lost functionality for some reason, like it was incompatible or something, or it was like super red or something, and then I forgot what I was going with. And then Android like released its own like natural version, like whereas like it turns on sunset mode or something. I forget the actual. Oh no, I think that I feel like the software was called Twilight or something like that, but I'm not sure if that's true. But now Android's released like their own functionality within it, built into the system itself. Which yeah, I turn it on, I use it. Why not? And it's still a thing where it's like I've never really consciously felt like it helped me get sleep better, but I also don't know because it's been like years, I suppose, since I haven't had it. But I always feel like, at least subconsciously in my brain, it's just like, oh, you know, it feels softer on the eyes somehow. I don't really know if reds are softer on the eyes than the blues, to be honest. I think it's something which is probably more determined by brightness than by hue, or by saturation rather than by hue necessarily. But I don't know. Maybe it's like a nugget of truth to that. Where was I gonna go with this? I forgot why I was going with this. But yeah, it's also, I haven't not used it for so long. I don't really think I can draw much of a conclusion from how well it helps my sleep. If anything, I think the best thing that really helps you sleep is being able to sleep at like a consistent time. And probably, if you wanted like the best bang for your buck of screen related sleep fixes, is to not look at a screen at all, like 1 hour before you go to sleep. Of course, this is sort of like practice what you preach moment, and I very much do not practice that. I'm very much looking at screens, I suppose, up until the moment I go to bed. Not in bed, to be fair. I very rarely go to sleep looking at my phone, because that is reserved for the times when I've got like a bout of insomnia or something, where I'm like, it's like 4 a.m. and I'm like, I can't get to sleep. What am I going to do? Okay, I'm just going to go on my phone for a little bit. Although I hear the thing you're actually meant to do when that happens is, yeah, go on your phone for a little bit, but you should not. You should get out of bed, go on your phone for a little bit, like, you know, do whatever you need to do for like the next like 20-30 minutes, and then go back to bed once you know you start feeling tired again. Because then it's a thing you don't want to. You want your bed to sort of be like a sanctuary, right? You don't want it to be anything apart from a sleeping area. You don't want to go to it and like not sleep there, because then you start associating it with other things, and then your mind's like, next time you go to bed it will be like too busy, your mind will be like too busy or something like that. So, and I don't really do many things on my bed, like very, like, I never throughout the day will I ever just like sit on my bed and do something like instead. Most of the time when I go into my bed is sleep. It's just in the morning, sometimes when I'm a bit too groggy to probably get up in the morning, I will go on my phone a little bit. But to be fair, in those situations, I'm never lying down. I always sit up, because I'm just like, I got to start like waking myself up. So I sit up, you know, I drape a blanket over my shoulders, and then I use my phone to do whatever. You know, if anything, I guess what I should do is I should like start sitting on the floor or something, or go sit in my chair to use the phone. So I've probably woken up. I've got to break that association with doing it in the morning, because if it becomes a proper habit, which it kind of is, I'm going to be honest, you know, let's have a bit of a not reflective look at myself. Yeah, it kind of is a habit which I've built up, isn't it? But same thing when I'm going to sleep. You know, when I'm going to sleep, I'm in bed. The phone is like on my bedside table, but that's it. I'm not using it unless it's like super late and I'm like, you know, I still can't get to sleep. Then I'll go on my phone for a little bit. But you know, habits are difficult to break, and old habits die hard and all that. So if anything, you know, I suppose when you have a willpower, when you have a thought process behind it, you should be like, yeah, now's the time to not do it that way, I would say. But you know, whether you do, whether you don't, is not really up to me, I suppose. In the end, it's kind of like your old business, isn't it? You have to forgive me. My nose is a little bit sniffly today. It was the same thing as what I was saying a couple of days ago, where I was like, oh, you know, I was completely fine for most of the day, and then it just like it hit like 6 p.m. or something, and I was like, my nose is dying. Like I can't handle it. And this thing, God, it was just like my nose was just dying. But this time I had tissues on me, so I could actually blow my nose, and it was like fine. Last time I didn't have a tissue, so it was just like, oh, I'm dying, until I got home and could finally blow my nose. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like hot. It's not like exceedingly hot in the most recent days, or maybe I've just like gotten used to it like very quickly. It's just hotter than it usually is in the UK, which is, you know, I'm not here for it, I'm gonna be honest. bring me back my mild spring and autumn temperatures. Autumn temperatures, that's where it's at, you know. That would be fantastic if it was year round. Okay, maybe not year round, maybe that'd be a bit boring, but like long gone are the days, I suppose, of hot summer. Whoa, it's 28 degrees now. It's like, whoa, you know, that was like the hottest temperature back when I was a child. Now, like, hottest temperature is like, I don't know, 35 or something. I don't even know if that's true. Let's see if that's true. UK hottest temperature 2022. 40 degrees, I don't even remember that. In Lincolnshire. A record temperature of 40.3 was verified in Coningsby, breaking the record of 38.7 in 2019 in Cambridge. Whoa. Yeah, I'm just reading about like the heat wave that I experienced, I suppose, in the UK. I don't know necessarily why I'm reading about this, and I lived through it. It was not great, and it's probably just going to get worse and worse each year. Hopefully not, but you know, that's, I don't know. Why am I talking about this? I don't know. I'm tired. Okay, you know, I can't hold a conversation at the moment. It's a blue light. It's affecting me. You know, blue light is also like a big thing in like photography as well, isn't it? Or no, no, I'm thinking white balance. But isn't white balance like the amount of blue something? How blue something is? Because I have a feeling that I used to have like a webcam which had like built-in webcam settings or whatever, where you could adjust like the brightness, contrast, or whatever, and presumably you were meant to use it like an actual interface being like, whoa, you know, my room's pretty dark or whatever reason, like it's not picking up enough light, I'm going to just up the brightness so I can use this so people can properly see me in the webcam. Sorry, it's just adjusting my mic. But of course, me being like 8 or what, no, that's too young, like 11 or something, I just use it to mess around on like video calls with my friends back in primary school. Oh, my friend, I really need some water. You know, good thing I got some. I don't have much water left in here, so I'm going to ration it over the next 5 minutes. But no, so we'd always just like mess around with like the webcam settings. We'd be like, whoa, turn saturation all the way down to 0. Look, I'm in black and white. Whoa, turn it up to 100. Look at me. I'm like bright, like neon colors or something. And there's always like some really random, what's the word? Not technology. Settings in there just to sort of like mess around with. And that's always fun, but I swear there was one where it was like white balance, and it just made you look really like bluish white. I don't know if that's even true. I'm not like a photography expert on image balancing expert. I don't know really what white is. White balance a photography thing? It's camera setting. Establishes the true colour of white. Oh. So it just... So, okay, so it is to do with colour temperature as well, from what I can tell. And it adjusts what colour white, like what sort of shade white looks like. So, okay, it does make things look bluish or reddish, I suppose, technically. That's probably not really the technical definition, but you know what I mean, right? It makes things look ever so slightly blue, it makes things look ever so slightly red. Maybe not ever so slightly, you know, it's quite a large scale. I never really, you know, thought about that. I don't remember it making things red. I just have such a strong association in my mind. White balance makes things look blue. And that's just sort of like a, I don't know. As I say, habits are hard to break. That's kind of like a connection which is pretty difficult to unestablish. Anyway, I don't know. Blue light. There was also a thing, I feel like I remember growing up, like blue LEDs didn't exist or something because they were like super difficult to make because of some reason, I don't know, probably like with, what's the term? Photoelectricity or whatever, like the light emitted from them is like too difficult to actually emit because of like the gap in the electron levels or something. I don't really remember physics all that well, so it's something like that. So whatever Albert Einstein like studied, what was it called? Albert Einstein, is it called a photoelectric effect? That doesn't sound right in my head. Maybe it is a photoelectric effect. Incoming photons and outgoing electrons. Yeah, you got like a Nobel Prize for this or something, from what I recall. Anyway, it's been like many years since I studied physics, so that's not exactly something which is resting in my brain all that well. Yeah, anyway, I guess I'm just going to like round this episode off here, I suppose. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm sort of just like lost the plot entirely. So, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, discussion, shares greatly appreciated. Twitter, Discord down below. Hope we see each other again. But for now, it's our farewells. Until next time. Bye-bye for now. And hopefully I'll finish this thumbnail art. And if not, then I guess tomorrow's episode's going to be Tunic.